Hi everyone, I'm Sandy.
And I'm Debbie.
We're from the Normal Paranormal group.
Yes, we are. And we have a story to tell today about our haunted attic when we were 6 years old and we first moved into this house. And as like I said, kids, you explore everything. So, unbeknownst to us, we did not know it was haunted. So, my twin sister and I explored, picking up remnants of things that the old owners left. So, one day...
Hi Rose.
Yeah, and hi Len, hi Pat. So anyways, we were playing hide and seek one day.
Hi Bella.
And I decided to run up in the attic in the bedroom part. And there was this bookcase we had. And I hid behind the bookcase. And I was giggling like a little kid, just giggling away. I'm 6 years old, thinking, my sister's never going to find me. So, out of the blue, and I cannot explain this, there was something in the darkness. Everyone who's experienced this would know there's this blackness in the darkness, and you just know it. You could see it. Well, being so young, my mind just blanked out. It really blanked out because I was so scared. And here I am, decades later, and I still cannot figure out what did I see in that blackness. It was so dark, and all I did was started screaming and screaming and crying. That laughter suddenly turned into tears, and I was petrified to move. I was frozen in fear at 6 years old. So all I could do is scream. And then my dad, he came running up the stairs wondering what happened. And I couldn't even talk. I couldn't even tell him. And I just held on to him so tight. And he carried me downstairs. And still, I don't know what scared the bejesus out of me that I would freeze and I could not talk at 6 years old. So I went and I put this story in my book, and unbeknownst to me again, my twin tells me this story.
Yeah, we both looked at each other and I says, I experienced the same thing in the attic. I was laying in the bed upstairs sleeping. It was dark. And all of a sudden I woke up of a sound sleep. I looked out into the attic part and it was so black. Like Debbie says, it's not dark, it's black in the darkness. Mm-hmm. And what I seen, I have no idea. And it scared me so much. I was so frightened. And I started screaming for my dad too. And I just screamed and cried. And again, he came upstairs and got me. And to this day, what did my young self see in the darkness that scared us so bad? Debbie and I both look at each other today and say, what did we see that we can't remember now?
And which is really odd, after this incident, my dad put a padlock on the door upstairs. We slept on the front room floor for a while. And there was a little hole in this door that we could peek through. But no one could get in. And I don't know why my dad padlocked it now. No one knows. But my dad refused to talk about the paranormal back then because he knew people who were thrown in sane asylums, who were given medication, and he didn't want to be marked as one of those people. So whatever he seen, he kept to himself. And my mother, who is gifted...
Yes, see, my mother is very gifted, but she always would tell us we're dreaming. Like if I heard sounds from the attic. And then one night I remember laying in bed when we did have our beds upstairs. And one night I did remember hearing voices over my head, a man and a woman talking. And I would be, Mom, did you hear that? There's people talking. They're right over my head. They were having a serious conversation about us. And what is this? And we weren't sure what was going on, and my mom said, "Oh, it's the voices bouncing off. It's bouncing off the railroad tracks. It's from next door." And knows to me is like, again, she blew it off, trying to make sure that we weren't scared or afraid of what was going on.
And the crazy part about all this, the door was locked. All of us were sitting in the front room that night, watching TV together, the whole family. We had one TV back then. It was black and white. And we all sat on the floor next to the couch. And in our hallway, we had a curtain hanging up. And it was crazy. A crayon, a green crayon, came flying out of this hallway and hit my dad. And then another one hit him. And then he looked at all of us. Who is throwing these crayons? Who? And my mom looks at him and she goes, Dan, everyone's sitting here. There's no one in there. And so my dad stands up. And like Sandy and I, we get up and follow
him.
Yes, we were fearless.
And curious.
And curious.
What's going on?
So we went in the hall with him. He went upstairs. The padlock was still on the door. No one upstairs. No one in the hall. And the question was, where was these crayons coming from? And this is one of many things that we've explored in our house or experienced in our house.
Well, just remember, the door was not always padlocked. They took it off because we had our beds upstairs. My mom and dad had the front part of the bedroom, and we had the back part of the bedroom. So we'll tell you more stories, interesting stories about the attic. It is unbelievable.
It is.
And I want to say hello to Diane and Carmen and Rose. And yes, and it's...
And Deborah Harris, I'm mailing out your stone today.
Yes, we're mailing out stones to the ones that sent us your address.
Yes.
And you'll get it. Hi, Mary.
This is our group empaths that I've offered averaging stones for. This is to protect your energy, not from the virus, not from anything.
No.
It's energy vampires that you're being protected from. These are people who suck your energy dry. This is
Hi,
the
Melissa.
spirit world that also drains your energy. Oh yeah, and once he had Melissa Starr out there. I hope all is well. And we got so many people to say hi to.
Right, and it's hard to get everybody in, but thank you for listening to our stories. But tomorrow we will definitely share a new story again with you, and I hope you're enjoying these little videos that we made. This is kind of like maybe you could relate to it, and you have your own story to tell. And this is, like I said, it was when we were 6 years old when this all started.
Yes, and we have many decades to go through. And this is not the only haunted house we've encountered. But we like to share the stories, and yes, it seems like the paranormal's following us. That's why we started this group, just for people like you, who are like us, everyday people. Yes, ghosts do exist. Yes, so we're out to prove it.
Yes, they're good ones and they're bad ones. And we'll tell you that because we experience both.
Well, in the meantime, we want to say thank you for tuning in and watching us. And stay tuned to our next story.
Our great adventures of where we all lived at the end of normal.
Okay, bye
everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.